So you're talking about the division of property, right?
Yes, that's it. We did divorce. It's so the property's gonna be divided in half, right? Yeah, mine.
Okay, I'll go get it ready.
My ex-husband, Sebastian, and his lover, Lena, grinned as I said this. But I came back with my own purse. Seeing that I was not carrying a thick envelope, my ex-husband and his lover looked at me suspiciously. I opened my wallet, not caring about their reactions.
Okay, that's 30 cents each for the division of property.
My name is Amelia, I am 32 years old, and I work for a company. How my husband, Sebastian, and I met is pretty unique. I had a boyfriend that I dated until 3 years ago after I graduated from college. We were together for about 7 years. I loved him as my boyfriend, and of course, I was thinking of marrying him. So I was waiting for him to propose to me. However, he never proposed to me for a long time. And when I talked about marriage, he kept brushing it off. So one day I built up my courage and decided to ask him, if you're not gonna marry me, then let's just break up. I thought saying this would finally make him decide on Jesus married to me, but he said, okay, then let's break up. My mind went blank when he said that. He apparently had no intention of getting married and was being with me because he didn't want to be alone for the time being. What was the point of us even going out then? Was it just that I was the one who was only in love with him? You've got to be kidding me. You're the worst, you stupid idiot. Fancy people. I said that as I ran out of his room. Of course, he didn't chase after me. I was filled with helplessness and wanted to get back home as soon as possible. So I quickly called for a cab. As I was riding the cab, I almost burst into tears on the way home. I looked down so that the driver wouldn't recognize me, but I couldn't seem to suppress my feelings. Then, the driver suddenly stopped at a station parking lot. I cried aloud in the taxi for the next 5 minutes. I guess I was relaxed because I was in the car alone, and the driver was not there. Then the driver came back just as I finished crying. I'm sorry to keep you waiting.
Oh no, it's okay. Please have this as an apology.
The driver then handed me a bag. In the bag was a coffee and a handkerchief. Both of them seemed to have been bought at that shop and the gas stations. I was so touched by the driver's kindness that I was surprised that he even took the trouble to leave me alone so that I could just have my time to cry, and even bought them to calm me down after I had cried.
Please don't worry, you cry. You can cry. I'm gonna head to the destination anyway, okay?
With that, the driver deliberately turned on the radio and turned up the volume. Thanks to the driver, I was able to calm down a lot by the time I arrived home. It's about 2 weeks later, I picked up a cab since I had to go somewhere. And it was that same driver again. I thought it was fate, and after thanking him for that time, I boldly asked him to exchange contact information with me. We then began to date and began to go out. When I first met him, I only vaguely remembered his face because it was at night, and I was emotionally unstable. But when I met him in a cab during the day, The second time, I realized that he looked about the same age as me and found out that he was 1 year younger than me. So we had a lot of things we could talk about and had a lot of fun together. He continued to steadily go out, and after about 2 years of dating, he proposed to me, and we got married. We have now been married for almost a year. It seems like it would work out all the time because of the special way we met, but the reality was different. The newlywed life with Sebastian was fun and good at first. However, I gradually began to see the parts of my husband that I didn't like. First of all, my husband was a person who did not do any house chores at all, so I had to cook dinner after work and do the laundry before I left for work. The other problem I had with my husband was that he tended to spend a lot of money. If he is not careful, he will buy expensive things and even use the money out of our shared account. My husband loves cars, which is why he became a cab driver. So he remodels his cars a lot, and it seems that he spends a lot of money to buy parts and other things for them. My husband would always excitedly say, "See, it's different from before, isn't it? But I don't really care since I'm not that interested." I really wish that he didn't spend the money from our shared account without my permission. Then one day, when I opened my bank book, I found that several $1,000s had been withdrawn from the shared account. As you can imagine, I was losing my patience. I told my husband I needed to talk to him when he came home from work and told him about this.
I've had enough. The money in this account is for us as a couple. It is not money that you can spend so freely. If you spend it on your hobbies like that, we won't be able to save anything. How much money do you put into the shared account every month? You only put about $500 a month. I'm the main contributor to the shared account. You know that? And as for living expenses, I pay the majority of it. So if you want to spend more money for your car, use it from your salary.
When I said this, my husband got angry.
You know, I can't afford much, with my low salary, don't you? We are a married couple, so it belongs to each other, right?
What an unreasonable thing to say. I had no idea he was the kind of person to say such things. I was shocked to find out that my husband, whom I thought was so kind, had this side of him. Maybe this man is what you call a good-for-nothing man. If he is, could he be having an affair or something? I even began to think about such things. The more I thought about it, the more suspicious I became of everything my husband did. I got more conscious, and it became difficult for me to focus on my work. I thought this was a bad idea, so I decided to hire a professional to investigate. A few weeks later, I received the results of the investigation. It seemed that my intuition was right, that my husband was having an affair. I was so shocked that I almost lost my mind. But I managed to calm down and tried to have a proper discussion with my husband. I decided to forgive him if it was just a one-night stand. I was quite busy with my work, so my husband might have been feeling lonely. If that was the case, we should have a proper discussion as a couple. However, when I started talking to my husband, I realized that I had been very naive. Hunted my husband with the photographs that were the proof of the affair and asked him what was going on. I confronted my husband with the photographs that were the proof of the affair and asked him, "What is going on?"
Why did you have an affair behind my back?
See, it's Patience, but Espen was surprised. But after admitting the fact of the affair, he began to talk. He said, "She and I are bound by the thread of fate, you know."
I'm really sorry, but now that I've met her, I can't be with you.
Wasn't it just a one-night stand or something like that?
I'm really sure about this. The one I like, no, the one I love is her.
At that moment, something just collapsed inside me. I knew that only good-for-nothing scumbags would come to me. I was a fool for having high hopes for this man. My husband continued with his story and finally asked me for a divorce. I felt ridiculous and immediately agreed to the divorce. Then I quickly left the house and went back to my parents' house. My parents felt bad for me and comforted me. They told me I could stay at home until my mind and body were at peace, so I was taken care of at home to rest my body and mind. Not having to do any house chores and living with a family that was kind to me seemed to be a pretty good environment for me, and little by little my wounds began to heal. I found myself smiling, especially more often when eating with my parents, and I felt that I was spending less and less time thinking about my ex-husband. I was starting to be able to concentrate on my work, and at this rate, I thought I would be able to completely forget about Sebastian. But just as I was thinking that, my ex-husband appeared in front, speaks of me again. It was a Saturday. I was in my room when I heard something noisy by the front door.
What are you doing here now?
And so she jerk.
Surprised by my father's angry voice, I rushed out of the room. Then I found my ex-husband there. "Sebastian?"
Hey, Amelia, what are you doing here?
I asked as I glared at him.
Just what do you know is I here to talk to you about a division of property. On the think of it, we haven't talked about it, you know.
Okay, well, let's just get this over with.
At least when I said that, my ex-husband's face lit up. He said, "Hey, we got permission. Hurry up and come in." I was confused and asked, who the heck did he even invite over to my parents' place? But the front door opened and I was startled to see that person enter. To my surprise, it was my ex-husband's lover, Lena. How could he bring his own lover to his ex-wife's parents' house? What kind of nerve does he have? I almost fell over with dizziness, and I had thought I could just forget about the scumbag. But I had no choice but to let them in the house and put them in the living room, because it looked like it would be a huge hassle if something happened here.
So you're talking about division of property, right?
Yes, that's it. We did divorce. Like, Doubty's gonna be divided in half, right? And
Okay, I'll go get it ready.
As my ex-husband Sebastian and his lover Lena grinned as I said this. And my parents are looking on, arms folded, as if they are not convinced at the situation. They probably don't want to see me divide the property and give Sebastian the money. But I came back with my own purse.
Okay, that's 30 cents each for the division of property.
You're kidding, not you?
Fortunately, the money left in our joint account was 60 cents, so the property division was 30 cents each.
I opened the bank book of the joint account and showed it to him. my ex-husband and his lover looked into it and were absolutely mortified.
Is that all I get?
What the heck is the meaning of this? He told me that she'll get some money.
Sebastian's lover questions him. Then my ex-husband made a surprising statement.
Hey, Amelia. You're hiding some money, aren't you? I know that you have $200,000 because I saw it on your bank book. You know, where are the savings for that? Over in juice. If it's half, I should at least get $100,000, right?
No, hold on a minute. Did you look at my bank book without my permission?
Well, we were married, so it's fine.
This man was snooping around my bank account without permission, and he was trying to take it without telling me. But this man is mistaken about one thing.
You don't know anything, do you? All my savings I made was all before I married you. That's why it can't be a joint property.
Huds, you're kidding, right?
You really know nothing. Huh, wow, you really are ignorant. You don't get anything but that 30 cents. Enter the rest of the money I put into our shared account was used so that you could remodel your car.
So model the car? But Sebastian, what does she mean by that?
Well,
You didn't even remodel your car though, did you?
I was surprised by Lena's statement.
What the hell do you mean by...
When I questioned them, my ex-husband started telling me the truth. Well, I used the money in the shared account to take Lena on vacations and to fancy restaurants.
Oh, I used the money in the shared account to take Lana on vacations and into fancy restaurants.
I was surprised to find out that my ex-husband was not using the money for his hobbies, but was using my money to pay for his lover. And now his lover also found out that Sebastian was paying off for her by using my money.
Gosh, wait a minute. Are you saying that it wasn't your money, but, this one started my thing twice from mine?
My ex-husband couldn't take back what he said and was unable to get away with it.
Listen, you're just the worst. Do you want to remarry me now?
Saying that, Lana got up and left.
Hey, wait a minute.
My husband was about to leave too, so I stopped him.
Wait a minute. If you were using the money to pay off for your lover, then that changes the whole thing. I'll add that money to the alimony, so make sure you pay me back.
Oh, no. Cut me some slack.
No way. You did it all on your own so you could just show off, didn't you? So I'll make sure you pay what you owe.
My ex-husband was pale. I then filed $60,000 for alimony against my ex-husband through my lawyer. I also asked for $30,000 for his lover, Lena. My ex-husband was in a lot of debt, even though his salary was low and he had also been dumped by his partner. Now, most of his salary is gone to pay the bills, and he is leading a very poor life. I, on the other hand, was able to work hard and get a promotion. Since I lived at home for a while after that, I was able to save a lot of money. But currently, I've also started investing and am gradually increasing my assets. Since my love life is good for a while, I think I will increase my savings a lot and set my goal in saving some money so I could retire earlier. Since my love life is good for a while, I think I will increase my savings significantly and set a goal to save some money in order to retire earlier. Thank you for watching until the end. please subscribe to our channel. See you in our next video.